Hey everyone, Ryan here at etrailer. Today on our 2023 Subaru Forester, we're going to be showing you how to install the Curt custom fit vehicle wiring harness. But before we do that, let's take a minute, check it out, and make sure it's going to work for you. So with these Subarus, people use them to do a lot of different things, which does include pulling some trailers around. And if that's what you plan on doing, you're going to need a way to power up the lights on that trailer, not only for safety reasons, but legal ones as well, because it is required in all the states. So that's where this kit's going to come into play. And in our case today, we actually have it stored on the inside of our vehicle. And so when you're ready to use it, you can open up your hatch and take it out of storage air, which I like the idea of this because it keeps it out of sight, out of the weather, and things like that. But what you do is drop it down over the threshold. You just want to avoid, it getting hung up in the latch, and we can actually close the hatch on it. And it might seem kind of odd doing this, but it's designed to be able to work this way. You're not going to hurt the wiring or your vehicle. And now we have plenty of length that we need to plug in to our trailer. With that said, if you tow a lot or just want this to be mounted, outside next to the hitch, that's perfectly fine, and you're able to do that. And here later on during the installation, I'll show you how you can do that. This is a four-way flat style of connector, which is going to be what the majority of the trailers at the Forester will be pulling will have. So if your connector on your trailer looks like this wiring's going to work out. You'll be able to plug it right in and power everything up. So you'll get your turn signals, your brake lights, as well as your running lights. So you have all your bases covered there. And not to mention too, lately it's getting more and more popular for accessories to have lights on them, whether it be a bike rack or a cargo carrier, whatever the case may be. And the vast majority of those are going to also have this style of connector. So this will be able to power those up as well. Aside from that, really not a whole lot to it. It's going to be an excellent and simple way to power up your trailer's lights, or if you have an accessory with lights on it. As far as the installation goes, really simple when it comes to trailer wiring. This utilizes a connector plug that's already back here from the factory, and so a lot of the work is done for you. Essentially, you take out a couple of floor coverings in the trunk area here, plug this in, screw a ground down, and that's about it. So just about anyone should be able to do this, but if you're going to be installing this yourself, feel free to hang around. We'll go ahead and get started on it now. To begin our installation, we're going to be here at the back of our Forester, and if you open up the hatch, we're going to need to remove some of these floor coverings. That way we can find the factory connector plug, which should be located right here in this area. So to start, we'll just get rid of this floor covering. We have this little piece here, and we can also remove this foam insert. We can get this foam piece removed. So there's two plastic push pin fasteners. You can use a trim tool or a flathead screwdriver, and be careful with these. They like to break. And so what I found that kind of works, if you take your thumb and apply some downward pressure while you're kind of prying up on it, that seems to prevent them from breaking. So we'll get that one out. Here's the other one. And we should be able to now get this piece of foam out of our way. Here's the wiring connector that we're looking for, and they got it taped up, so I'm just going to remove it. That way it's a little bit easier to work with here. And what you can do, take your new trailer wiring harness and just plug that right in. At this point, we can take the white wire with the pre-attached ring terminal, and that's going to be our ground wire. And so I'm going to secure it right here where these two pieces of sheet metal kind of overlay, make for a good connection. And I'm just going to use the provided self-tapping screw to get that done. what we can do now is actually get this secured. So they give you some two-sided sticky tape. Clean this surface off real well with some rubbing alcohol, which I've done. Get that sticky tape on there. And then clean the mounting surface off as well. And I'm gonna go right here in this area, just stick it to the floor. Get that done and then give you a better look here at how it turned out. Here's where I put the box at, and you know, really nothing special about it. You just want to make sure that it's out of the way from other components. For example, you don't want to put it right here in the middle, because when we go to put that foam back, it'll interfere with it. So kind of tucked off to the side, we should be in good shape. We'll go ahead, take our included fuse now, place that into the holder, close up the cap there, and I think at this point it would be smart to test the wiring to make sure that it's working properly before we get carried away putting our panels and everything else back together. I like to use this little tester as opposed to just hooking up to your trailer. That way, if your trailer happens to have any issues, you know, it won't mislead you into thinking it's something you did on the vehicle side. But we'll try our left turn signal, our right turn signal. We'll hit our brakes and turn on our taillights. Since we verified everything works, we can route our wires. So you got a couple of choices. What you can do, you can leave it inside, which is what we're gonna do. But if you'd rather have this routed outside, down by your hitch, what you can do is pull your spare tire out, and underneath it there will be a couple of rubber grommets. You can pop one of them out, cut it, push your wire down through there, and reinstall that grommet, seal everything back up. So that's always an option. But like I said, we're staying inside, so I kind of zip tied upper wiring and everything just to kind of bundle it up, keep it secure. And at this point, I'm going to reinstall this piece the opposite way. Make sure your wiring comes through like that. And we put our foam piece in here. This is actually where I'm going to store the wiring there. So with that done, we'll grab the rest of our panels here and just put them back into position. Panels all put back together, essentially we are wrapped up. So we'll close this down, and with that done, that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Curt custom fit trailer wiring harness on our 2023 Subaru Forester.